films and fermentation, movies and inebriation. With films and fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libation. Films and fermentation, with Leo, Batman and Mike.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's edition of Films and Fermentation, episode 204, Cons Who Are Pros. That's right. We are Films and Fermentation, a movie and alcohol podcast, number one pop culture podcast on Good Pods. And I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
I almost feel like I was out of practice on that one for some reason. We do this every week. We're three friends who like to talk shit about movies while getting shit-faced. In this episode, we're diving into the slick-talking, double-crossing world of cinematic con artists. These are the movies where charm is currency, nobody's who they say they are, and someone's always walking away with a suitcase full of someone else's money. We'll toast the grifters, the hustlers, and the lovable liars who made swindling look like an art form. So pour yourself a drink, but keep an eye on it, because in this episode, trust is the ultimate illusion. I really had to practice that one. Don't forget to drop us an email at filmsandfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation to find all of our social media and podcast links. Become part of the Films and Fermentation family by joining us on the Pod Nation Media Network on Roku or subscribing to our Substack newsletter. We're an independent podcast, which means we are listener supported, so please consider joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month to receive members-only content. That's right. For a $1 donation, you can get an Arnold Schwarzenegger signed photograph that was forged by one of us. Go to patreon.com/films and fermentation or purchase our merchandise at teespring.com. You can now text us at 904-867-4466 and remember to tell us who you are.
And
What do we? Go ahead,
just so everybody knows, we are a kiss cam free zone here.
I was tempted to try to make a poster for the night that was like the three of us standing behind each other, like the couple at the Coldplay concert. But I couldn't get the photo to come out the way I wanted it to. Anyway, what are we drinking tonight? Kev has a theme drink and he's sweating mightily. So let's see what his drink is about.
I do have a theme drink. My wife was kind enough to look this up. This is from Drink Specials for the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels Dinner Theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have one called The Con Artist, which is what I'm consuming right now. Made with Tito's vodka, lemonade, and raspberry puree served on the rocks. It is delicious, my gentlemen. And I'm not a vodka fan, but this is pretty good. The other one they had for the show was The Jackal, which was Svedka Clementine vodka, orange juice, grenadine, peach schnapps, and champagne, which are shaken and served up in a sugar-rimmed martini glass. But this was easier to make. So this is the Con Artist.
Okay.
Did you put a pinch of salt in it?
Yeah, pinch of salt, like I do with all my drinks now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a lemon shanty from Freedom Brewery, a veteran-owned and operated brewery. It is 4.7% alcohol by volume. It's a beer for good. Every time you enjoy a Freedom Brew beer, a portion of proceeds are donated to causes helping active military and veterans in need. They protected our freedom. Let's help them enjoy theirs. Hashtag beer for good. Thank you for your support, they say. And I will always support a veteran-owned and operated establishment.
Cheers.
As all of us do, yes. We will all always support a veteran-owned business. Tonight am drinking. I have 2 beers for tonight, one from each of my friends. So the first one I'm working on now, I figured these would work together because when I did this on Saturday and I mixed the lager with the shandy, it didn't work out too well.
Mhm.
So I got 2 citrusy drinks tonight. So the first one is the Cape May Brewing Company Crushing It Orange Indian Pale Ale,
That's going to knock you on your ass.
which is it's 8% alcohol by volume, and it's
Wow.
very tasty. It's very, very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it'd be a good complement to my second citrusy drink, which is one that Mike gave me from, as he mentioned, Freedom Brewery. This is the Lemon Shandy, which I really, really like. It's one of the few beers I've ever given a 5.0 to on Untapped. So I'm looking forward to getting to this one when I finish the orange one. And this one is 4.7% alcohol by volume.
So we're twinsies tonight.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm half a twin. I'm half a twin with each of you. All right, here we go. So we're moving on to the first segment of the evening, some film history.
Is that
What was that?
the boy? I think I see the boy.
Where's the boy?
The boy has picked up a new skill, which is why he's not going to bed. He is closing the door on people. Right now, he just closed the door on my wife. And now he's going to
the
open
boy's
it
on
to
the
check
floor.
to make
There
sure
he is.
she's still out there, and then close the door. Come here. Come here.
I saw this little head popping up right below the gift man.
I didn't even notice him because I was like working on something over here. And there he the boy. There,
Uh-oh.
the boy.
You can see him behind the desk.
Nolan.
Nolan, you want to see everybody? Come here, buddy. Come here.
He said, I saw them Saturday.
Yeah.
You go see us again
this
Saturday.
Saturday.
Puppy. Puppy. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Got that
Little
crazy
man.
head going again.
There we go.
What's up, bud?
Hi, wave. Hi. Hi.
You're turning into a menace to society, I heard.
Mm-hmm. Arms up. Arms up.
Arms up.
Wave.
People.
Wave.
Nolan, wave.
Wave to everybody, you little cupid doll. There you go.
And like I
All
said,
right, we're going to go back to mommy.
High five.
High five.
High five.
High five. High five. All right.
Bye, bud.
Oh, that goes through quick, doesn't it?
Go
Hey,
down
good.
quick. I'm going to need a refill soon.
I might pull that and put it at the end of the episode. All right. So, as I was saying,
This week in film history with Mike. This week in film history with Mike.
in 1952, The Quiet Man, film directed by John Ford and starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, it's released in the UK.
yeah, never heard of this movie.
Nah.
Great time of year to put it out there, too, you know?
Yeah,
That late
summertime.
July.
It's UK summer blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's such an Irish film that I always imagined it came out like in March.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or
The UK is
springtime.
Irish all the time.
Yeah, it's Irish all the time in the UK. That's right. Yeah, I love The Quiet Man. Yeah,
Great movie.
great movie. Speaking of great movies,
1959, Ed Wood's cult classic, Plan 9 from Outer Space, often called one of the worst films ever, premieres starring Gregory Walcott and Bela Lugosi.
I love Plan 9 from Outer Space. I know it's considered one of the worst films of all time, but I love it anyway. And honestly, when you put it up against Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, it's a fucking masterpiece. And has one of the, if not the greatest opening lines in the history of cinema, which I have a special presentation for.
We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
That was one sentence where he used the word future 3 times.
We all know Tim Burton had
Mhm.
done a Ed Wood biodrama, whatever. And that was one of the few times that Tim Burton was nominated for. Was he
It's the only
nominated
time.
for?
It's the
The
only
only
time
time.
he was ever nominated for Best Director.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could have won for it too. I don't remember what the other films were that year, but it's one of his best pictures. I love Ed Wood. It's a great movie. And I had seen Plan 9 from Outer Space before seeing the movie Ed Wood, because that's me. And yes, future events such as these will affect us all in the future. Next one you got to
1974, Death Wish, based on
Speaking of great movies.
Ryan Garfield, directed by Michael Winner and starring Charles Bronson, is released in the U.S.
Yes, and there were, I think, 18 sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in fact, their sequels were actually good.
and then a reboot starring Bruce Willis in the early 2000s. That was terrible. The original Death Wish, it's weird. I actually watched it recently because another podcast had been talking about it, and I was like, man, I haven't seen Death Wish in forever. And it's a weird movie, man.
Well,
It's such a weird movie because
it's a lot of weird movies.
Well, you think about Death Wish is like, because if you've seen the sequels are just nothing but action and shooting people.
Right.
The first movie is a very slow burn. Like, he doesn't start getting his revenge till a lot later in the film, and there's a lot of like really uncomfortable scenes at the beginning of it. So yeah, Death Wish. Next one.
1978, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band film starring the Bee Gees, based on the Beatles album of the same name, premieres in New York City.
I believe the Beatles didn't want anything to do with the making of the film, so the studio was like, we've already put out the money for it, so fuck it, get the Bee Gees. Nothing says Beatles substitute like the Bee Gees. Next one, sir.
Where am I at? 1993, romantic comedy film Sleepless in Seattle, starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, co-written and directed by Nora Ephron, is released.
I actually like this film. Katie
I
and I
like
just
the
watched
movie.
it recently. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for something to watch. We hadn't seen in a while that both of us like, and so we watched that. And yeah,
This is part of the great Hanks Ryan trilogy, which
includes your favorite film of all time, Joe versus the Volcano.
It's not of all time, but it's a good movie. It's an underappreciated movie.
So if you had to rank You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, and Joe versus the Volcano, how would you rank them?
I mean, it's the bottom of the three. The other two obviously are a little better done, but
really, Joe versus the Volcano is number 2 on his list, right after Mac and Me.
Yes. Mac and Me, Joe versus the Volcano.
That's right.
And The Rock with Nicolas
and
Cage.
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. But my buddy Matt texted me this morning, and he's like, "Yo, Hulkster died." And I texted him back, and I was like, "Yeah, I heard he didn't eat his vitamins or say his prayers." He was like, "Dude, that's so wrong." And then I sent him a gif of a scene from No Holds Barred where he's threatening this little guy, and he goes, "What's that smell?" And the little guy goes, "Dookie." And I'm like, cinema.
At his funeral, everyone's going to walk by the coffin, and all the wrestlers are going to either take folding chairs to break over the coffin, or get around the wires, and
or the ones that were friends with him in the 80s will just do a line of coke off the top. R.I.P. Hulkster. Speaking of masterpieces,
1998, Saving Private Ryan, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Hanks, Ed Burns, and Matt Damon, is released. Academy Award Best Director, 1999.
Little known fact, Meg Ryan was in this one too.
She was one of the bullets.
She was one of the Ryans.
Yeah, he was one of the Ryan brothers, the unseen one. The one. It actually did not win Best Picture that year, though. It lost to Shakespeare in Love.
Hmm.
Speaking of good movies,
2014. Guardians of the Galaxy, directed by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt and Zoe
Saldana.
Saldana. You know, I'm bad. Premieres in Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Yes. Recently, James Gunn released Guardians of the Galaxy 4, Superman. And the last one you got there, sir.
2019 Marvel superhero film Avengers Endgame becomes the world's highest grossing film, overtaking Avatar and earning $2.9 billion.
Thank God. Avatar had too much hype
Mm.
for essentially
There's a
the
third one
story
coming
of Dances with Wolves. And
Yeah, and Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
And Last of the Mohicans. Avengers Endgame. I actually thought Infinity War was better. To me, Infinity War and Endgame is kind of like comparing Empire and Return of the Jedi. Something about the bad guys winning made it better. All right. Enough about me being depressed. Let's move on.
It did have one of the best death scenes ever, though.
Which one? Endgame?
Yes.
Loki's?
Iron Man.
Oh, Iron Man. I was going to say Loki's because that's the one that upset Adrian.
Yeah, but that was the first one. That was in the.
That was the beginning of Endgame, wasn't it? Or is that the beginning of Infinity War?
That
was the beginning of
Endgame.
Yeah.
No, Infinity War.
No, it was Endgame.
No, it was Endgame.
Yeah.
No, it was Infinity War.
Or was it Infinity? Was it Infinity War?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Time to rewatch Infinity War and Endgame before going to see Fantastic Four.
That's when Banner was like, "He's coming! Look, Thanos is coming!" Right after that.
That's right, because then they don't defeat him at the end, and then that's when Thor gets depressed. And
Should have gone for the
overweight
head.
and stuff. Yeah. All right, moving on.
Kevin's here, he's here for beer. He's got news, it's beer with Kevin.
Gentlemen, it may blow your mind to hear that this story came out of New York, but a beer-loving New York City shoplifter with more than 200 busts is at it again and quickly set free. He knows what he likes, and
he drank the evidence, didn't he? That had nothing to hold him on.
A serial shoplifter with more than 200 busts on his rap sheet and an apparent grudge against a post photographer is facing new theft charges after cops said he snatched a batch of Modelo beer from one of his favorite haunts, the Duane Reade Pharmacy in Broadway in Lower Manhattan. Ron Mack, who's 53, seems to have a taste for Mexican brew. Tried to kick photographer Stephen Hirsch after his latest arrest this week. A rematch for Mack, who lunged at Hirsch and smashed his camera after an earlier shoplifting arrest in 2022. On Wednesday, he was arraigned on petty larceny and possession of stolen property charges after allegedly trying to make off with 18 Modelos from the Manhattan retailer on Monday. He was released without bail, as he always has been, because the charges don't qualify for bail under the state's controversial 2019 Criminal Justice Reform Statute. The scene of the crime is familiar turf for Mack, who has been pinched at the same Duane Reade at least half a dozen times since April, allegedly making off with sandwiches and more of his favorite beer. No, number one selling beer, but this guy just steals it. One law enforcement officer told the Post, "This guy is not stealing food to feed his family." The repeat offender has had 3 other open larceny cases pending in Manhattan, including charges that he ripped off the pharmacy just one day before his latest bust. According to sources, he also allegedly tried to steal 4 12-packs, 11 8-packs, and 2 tall boys on June 9th, 5 cases and 2 24-packs on May 7th. Sandwiches, yogurt, and beer, which all go really well together, on April 18th. And on April 10th, more, you guessed it, Modelo beer from the same Dwayne Reed outlet. Not to be entirely exclusive, Mac is also accused of stealing Charmin toilet paper from the Dwayne Reed on Amsterdam Avenue and has been charged with stealing from Walgreens as well. I steal for a living, he admitted in June of 2022 shoplifting arrest. He's also not always particular after his beer. In June 2022, arrest that led to the attack on Hirsch was for allegedly stealing oatmeal, breakfast sausage, and Bud Light from the Upper East Side pharmacy. Following his release on robbery charges, Hirsch asked Mac how he was doing when the accused shoplifter spun around and knocked the camera out of the photographer's hands, punching him in the arm and smashing the equipment into the wall. Despite his rap sheet, the courts haven't been able to hold Mac because of the state's reforms. So, stealing for a living.
I had a pattern.
Likes his Modelo. Goes well with yogurt and oatmeal.
Ugh.
All
right. Something by the request of Leo.
Yes, I like the next one.
Yes. Give a shoe until the beer's through. This is why a Belgian bar makes you trade your shoe for a beer. Belgium is a place of pilgrimage for countless hop-loving, beer-enjoying connoisseurs, and for good reason. It's one of the best beer countries in the world. This were the Matrix, but with beer. Bear with me. Belgium would be the place where the party would be after the beer-hating machines tried to off everyone. But things in Belgium have taken a slightly odd turn of late. It seems that not only the beer that people are after, it's the beer glasses too. There's been an alarming trend of souvenir hunting, aka glass stealing, brewing for a while now. The pub owners are fed up. Some have started taking steps to ensure the safety of their precious glassware, some of which can cost you up to €50 apiece. All of our beer glasses are protected against theft, said Philip Mays, the owner of 2B Bruges, which secures an electronic anti-theft tag to each glass. Wow. Some of the glasses are manually crafted and therefore unique. Some of the tourists are eager to have their own copy to bring home as a trophy. Unfortunately, they prefer not to pay for the glass.
Must be Americans.
Yeah, probably.
From New York.
In Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, Ghent, has a different solution for this particular problem. If you want to drink a beer, you'll have to give them your shoe as collateral. Don't worry, you'll get your shoe back. When you have finished your beer, like Cinderella, you will be reunited with your Yeezys. Apparently, people have walked out shoeless, but so far no one has tried to walk into the bar without shoes. And when it comes to shoes, Dual Great doesn't discriminate. We actually accept all kinds of shoes, but we realize that a flip-flop is not as valuable as a glass of beer, said the owner, Alex de Vrint. Vrient.
Yeah.
Customer shoes, once surrendered, go into a basket that dangles from the ceiling. It sounds a bit weird, but let's be honest, it's not the most embarrassing piece of clothing that could go up there. What wouldn't you do for a glass of beer, right? Looking at Dooley Great's big-ass glasses and their built-in wooden racks to keep them upright, it's evident that some type of protection is needed. I mean, even I want one. But seriously, guys, stealing is wrong. The glass is not a free memento for you to just take and snuggle with in your old age. Pay for your beer, drink the fucking thing, and go. And that's it. That's weird news.
Well, they get to keep my shoe. I get to keep the beer, right?
Yeah.
And if you see the pictures, the glasses are unique. I mean, talk about Cinderella. They are nice.
I have to go out to go get some $5 Bobo shoes.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Buy some shoes for 50 cents from like the
Yes.
Goodwill or something, and then All right. I have some movie updates tonight, and unfortunately, I have a few depressing ones. So here we go.
Movie updates with Leo. Movie updates with Leo. Movie updates with Leo. Movie updates Leo.
I almost feel like I shouldn't use that lead in when I have news like this to give at the beginning.
Shit.
Pioneering rock legend Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76 as of the recording of this episode from complications due to Parkinson's disease just a few weeks after his farewell concert in Birmingham, England. Ozzy is a multi-time Grammy winner and inductee of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with his band Black Sabbath.
Also, the WWE Hall of Fame.
And a WWE Hall of Fame, yeah,
Mhm.
ironically. This is I've been watching a lot of videos the last couple of days of like all these different bands doing tribute songs and stuff to Ozzy at their concerts, and it's been really like interesting to see all these different people cover his music. I watched a little bit of his final concert. I mean, he was so frail at that point that he did the whole concert sitting in a chair, but
Yeah.
still,
Makes me worried about Phil Collins. He does the same.
yeah, I heard he's in hospice care right now.
Oh.
Speaking of deaths this week, today, the recording of this episode today, which is July 24th, Wrestling Hall of Famer and actor, legend, the man that made wrestling what it is in the 80s, due to his popularity, Hulk Hogan passed away today at 71 years old from cardiac arrest. R.I.P. Hulkster. I know I made a joke about it earlier in the show because I'm an asshole, but it was kind of sad to hear this because I grew up watching Hogan and Flair and all those old guys like that. And honestly, when I heard the news today, I said, wow, I can't believe Ric Flair outlived them. That man did some hard living.
Which WrestleMania was it that it was Hulk versus Andre?
3.
That was WrestleMania 3.
3.
So Hulk
It's the only one I
Hogan,
know.
Hulk Hogan main evented the very first WrestleMania ever in WrestleMania 1. He was the main event in WrestleMania 2 against Roddy Piper, and then WrestleMania 3 was Andre the Giant. And then he was the main event in a number of them over the years. That's probably the one that's the most iconic is him body slamming Andre the Giant. Yeah, and then we had one more death this week. This one was a really strange one when I saw this. Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, dies at 54 years old from an accidental drowning. He was in Costa Rica with his family, got caught in an undertow and pulled under.
Mm-hmm.
And that's scary, to think like that could happen that quickly.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 really depressing pieces of movie news I had this week. Let's try to end it with. Go ahead, Mike.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Let's try to end it with something a little bit more positive here. Fantastic Four: First Steps is set to hit theaters wide release tomorrow, July 25th. Is expected to be a box office contender and potentially unseating Superman from the current top spot at the box office. And Adria Arjona, who is from the show Andor, will star opposite Michael B. Jordan in a remake of the Thomas Crown Affair. Which is on our list of con man movies tonight. It's one of my favorite films with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo, which itself is a remake of a film from the 70s. So that's my thing for tonight. Mike, you have any must-try beer or craft destinations?
I have a must-try beer. It's called 13 Guns. Country of origin is England. First brewed in 2011. Alcohol content is 5.5% alcohol by volume. 13 Guns is a bold, full-bodied American-style IPA brewed in England as a tribute to the original 13 American colonies and the 13 gun salute fired on the first U.S. Independence Day. This intensely hoppy beer delivers vibrant aromas and flavors of citrus and fresh mango, underscored by a pine-tinged bitterness that lingers pleasantly on the finish. A blend of pale, crystal, Munich, and caramel malt and rye malts provide a solid malt backbone that balances the assertive hop character. Hopped with classic American varieties, Continental, Citra, Amarillo, and Apollo, 13 Guns achieves a complexity yet drinkable profile, showcasing a harmony of fruity brightness and multi depth.
But no persistent head.
And no barnyard funk.
Yeah. Speaking of citrusy drinks, I've come to learn that the lemon shandy from Freedom cannot be drank with any other beers. So the other day I drank the shandy first, and then I drank the Freedom Lager, and the Freedom Lager tasted a little weird because of the lemon shandy aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight I drank the orange one from Cape May, and then started drinking the lemon shandy, and now the lemon shandy has a weird aftertaste. So, like, lemon shandy must be drunk by itself at all times, which I'm okay with because I really like the lemon shandy. All right, we're going to take a quick break to hear these words from Pod Nation Media Network, and then we'll be back with our main segment, Cons Who Are Pros. Hey, movie lovers, this is Leo.
Mike.
And Kevin from Films and Fermentation.
If you love comedy, movies, and a good drink in hand, then you need to check out the Pod Nation Media Network.
It's home to a variety of amazing podcasts covering everything from pulp culture to history, and of course, movies like ours.
And the best part, Pod Nation Media Network is featured on Roku, so you can stream your favorite podcasts anytime.
Alongside Films and Fermentation, you'll find other fantastic shows like the KJ&A podcast, The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, Real Sharks, and so many more.
So grab a drink, press play, and join the fun with Pod Nation Media Network.
Because everything's better with a little comedy, movies, and booze.
Learn more by going to linktree.com/podnationpods. Hey, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us after that quick break. Tonight's main segment is called Cons Who Are Pros. We are talking about con man or heist movies. And we broke it down into different categories. We got drama, comedy, crime/thriller, action, fantasy, sci-fi, and based on a true story. We're going to talk quickly about each of these movies. One of the three of us will describe the film and talk about the ending. And then we're going to rank it on plausibility. Is the movie real world doable? Can this actually be done in real life? Is it theoretically possible if they have a little bit of luck? Or is this only capable of happening in a movie universe? I think I know where I'm slanting towards on most of these. But we'll see where it goes from there. So if as we go through the list, if either of you guys want to talk about any of these films, let me know. If not, I'll describe it and give you the ending and all that stuff.
Works for me.
So spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about the endings of some of these films because it's the ending that is often, there's an ending to every movie, but this is in con man heist movies. It's usually the ending that is like the big reveal or the twist or whatever it is. So, we are going to be doing a little bit of spoiler warnings here. I'm going to take one off the list here, make it a little bit shorter. I don't think Kevin minds me taking a Nick Cage movie off the list.
Well, is it the one that I put on the list?
What one did you put on the list?
Matchstick Men.
I will put that back. I thought I put that one on the list. I haven't seen Matchstick Men, believe it or not. So you can talk about that one.
I will.
I have not seen that one. I know it's rare that I haven't seen a film, but all right. So the first one we got on here is probably one of the most famous con men / heist movies of all time, The Sting from 1973, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford in one of the two films that they starred in together. Anybody want to talk about The Sting, or should I go ahead?
This is what happens after they jumped into the gorge, isn't it?
Yeah, in Butch Cassidy, yeah.
They come out and they decide to become professional con artists.
What gets me with this movie right now is no one's trying to remake it yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This is like, it's a classic from 1973. George Roy Hill, who also directed Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Two grifters team up to pull off the ultimate con is the IMDb synopsis. Wow, thanks. The movie is carried by the performances of Paul Newman and Robert Redford in their most charismatic and nostalgic charm in a 1930s set film. They are two small-time con men trying to, steal money, of course. That's kind of like how all these things are. Johnny Hooker, small-time grifter, unknowingly steals from Doyle Lonigan, a big-time crime boss, when he pulls a standard street con. Demanding satisfaction for the insults, he hooks up with his partner, Henry Gondorf, and they try to put together a long con in order to try to get the money back and save their own hides and all this stuff. The movie ends with the two guys faking their own deaths and basically getting away with it because they pretended to kill themselves and walking away with the money, more or less. Ruined then by the sequel, The Sting 2.
The quest for more money.
The quest for more money, exactly. Sting has a 93% score on Rotten Tomatoes among critics, one of the higher ranked movies on this list. Theoretically possible with a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
I think it's
though. I mean, as soon as you steal from the mob, I don't think you're going to live long.
well, that's why they fake their own death.
First time he stole from the mob and got away with it. They took the money back, but
well, you know how it is. It's if you want to call it only in a movie universe, that's an only in a movie universe trope where it's like the crime boss always gives you like a day to get the money back.
yeah.
I was going to break your fingers and knock off your kneecaps, but I figured I'd give you 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Well, you got 24 hours to get the money, or I'm going to give you some men's shoes. Yeah. So
I was
said,
very disappointed that this movie, which lacked Gordon Sumner, by the way, I thought that was a given that he'd be in it. But
that was a police reference for anybody out there who was not aware that Gordon Sumner is Sting. Anyway.
Yeah,
you would think with a movie called I'll Be Watching You, you would think you would be into the movie about cons.
Well, the thing is, would it be Surfer Sting or Crow Sting?
Now we're talking wrestling. No, I'm thinking of the sword that glows blue when orcs are near.
Oh.
Anyway, I said theoretically possible with a bit of luck because it is like a possible heist, but the whole faking your own death thing is always like a weird, like you need a little bit of luck kind of thing in movies. So
I can agree with
that.
Do
it once you do it the first time and get away with it. Every time you do it afterwards, you get a little bit better. So
eventually, though, the life insurance policy is going to catch up to you and be like, how many times has this guy died? All right. So I went theoretically possible. Mike is somewhere between that and movie universe.
Yeah, I'd say theoretically possible.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of luck kind of movie. Next one on the list is 90% on Rotten Tomatoes is The Grifters from 1990. The Grifters is kind of a forgotten film, I think. It stars John Cusack, Angelica Houston, and Annette Bening. It's about a small-time con man who has torn loyalties between his estranged mother. So John Cusack is the con man. His mother is played by Angelica Houston. And he has a new girlfriend played by Annette Bening, both of whom are high-stakes grifters with their own angles to play. So there's a lot of like backstabbing and con artists happening things behind the scene. It's not a comedy. It's a pretty dark movie and has a very dark ending where Lily, the character played by Angelica Houston, accidentally kills John Cusack, her son, with a broken glass during a confrontation over the money that they were grifting. So,
you know what? I can't say I've seen it. Obviously, I mean, I think I actually mixed this one up with The Bonfire of the Vanities because I was going to ask about Tom Hanks. He's not in this one.
No, that one is Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis.
Yes, I recuse myself from this judgment.
I saw the Grifters a long time ago. This is 1990. I probably saw it a few years after that because I remember like the trailer playing a lot on like the pay-per-view channels back then when I had that box that got me all the channels for free. So this one is kind of a real world,
it's
plausible one. Because it's about just con artists just conning people out of money in Las Vegas, and what happens when you get in confrontations over money. Somebody accidentally gets killed. It's kind of a realistic film.
yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah. Next one on the list is The Talented Mr. Ripley. Anybody want to take that one?
So I feel this movie. I don't know if I'd consider. I mean, it is a con. The
Mhm.
character name Matt Damon's character is conning people into believing he is who he says he is, but it's not an established con. If you know what I mean, he
Yeah.
goes there with one agenda, and then through his course of interacting with Jude Law and Goop Vagina Girl. I can't recall her
Gwyneth
name right
Paltrow.
now. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Goop vagina.
Through the course of those interactions and Philip Seymour Hoffman, he changes the con, but it's not. It's like duping. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, there's no end game. It's not like, oh, I have this plan. My agenda is this. So,
Okay.
is it doable? Yeah, I mean, it's doable for anybody who
I mean,
can
it's all about
impersonate
concealing
people.
identity. So
Yeah, but I just have trouble labeling this as like a con movie. I guess con.
On the positive side, I will never not refer to Gwyneth Paltrow now as Gwyneth Paltrow, aka Goop Vagina. It's gonna be the name of my band. Ladies and gentlemen, with the Goop Vagina. Hello, Cleveland.
Thank you, dude. Wife.
Yeah. So, Talented Mr. Ripley. I'm going to say that's a doable in real life.
I think it's doable. Yes.
Yeah. So now I had not seen Matchstick Men, the fourth movie on our drama genre list. So Kev, if you want to take that for me and give me a little.
I do. Okay. So you have. I had the synopsis brought up. There we go. Or the plot summary. A phobic con artist, played by Nicolas Cage, with OCD, and his protege, played by. Come on. Played by Sam Rockwell, are working on a big score, which could leave them really well off. However, things are put on hold, or the gears are kind of mucked up when Nicolas Cage's teenage daughter arrives unexpectedly, and she is played by Alison Lohman.
Yep.
Yeah, Alison Lohman. And it's interesting. You see the con working. These are two professional conmen working out of an office where they have phones set up and really have the character placement down. And you're watching how they perform the con. Alison Lohman shows up, a daughter he never knew he had. So you can kind of guess where this is being played into it. She comes into the picture. She wants to reconnect. She, doesn't want to be seen with her mother, yada, yada, yada. When everything is settled and all is said and done, we find out sorry, spoiler alert for someone who hasn't seen it 21 years ago. Sam Rockwell set up the whole thing with the teenage daughter, not really his teenage daughter, but you see this phobic OCD individual become okay with like germs and sharing and opening up and forming a connection. He was very standoffish before he was isolated. I like the movie, and that goes far when you understand how much I loathe Nicolas Cage. So, but Sam Rockwell and Alison Lohman and Bruce McGill, they kind of pull the movie around. So
I like Sam Rockwell. I think he's great in just about everything he does. I would watch it for him. Having not seen the movie, this to me sounds like a possible with a little bit of luck kind of scenario. You have to hope he doesn't recognize the daughter.
Well, he never knew that he had one,
Yeah.
So like she comes into his life and is like, "No, I'm your daughter." And
I like the
plays lots of-
tagline for the film on IMDb. It's lie, cheat, steal, rinse, repeat.
I mean, I would recommend it if you're
I might have to check this one out. That takes us to the comedy list. So like the comedy and crime thriller lists are a little bit longer because I feel like most con artist movies kind of lean towards that either comedic or action element in their storytelling. So the first two on the list are tied with 96% scores on Rotten Tomatoes, which I was surprised the first one had this highest score. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels from 1988. It's not to say that I don't like the film. I love Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I was just surprised the critics liked it that much.
Excuse me.
Anybody,
May I go to the bathroom? Of course.
Of course.
Thank you.
He's a mute. He tells her he's a mute, and then he starts hitting him with a switch. It's like pretend that he doesn't feel it. If anybody has not seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, it stars Steve Martin, Michael Caine as con men. Michael Caine is a big-time professional con artist, makes millions of dollars, lives in a villa in Spain. And Steve Martin is an up-and-coming con artist who isn't that great at it and is kind of learning from Michael Caine. They are master protege, sort of. They are conning this woman that they are trying to get money from. And the big twist at the end is that she's a con artist herself. And she was tricking them the whole time. And then
she was more professional. Yeah, she was like,
she was even more professional than those two. And then at the end, she shows up on the island where Michael Caine's villa is, and brings the two of them in on a con together with a bunch of rich Greeks that she brought to his island. So it's like a lot of silliness, a lot of fun comedy. One of rare Michael Caine comedic performance. Typical 80s like Steve Martin comic performance. And the actress who starred in the film with them, I'm trying to remember her name. She was
Glenn Headley.
Glenn Headley, yeah, she was in Dick Tracy as well. She's really good in the film. She actually just passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, 2017.
She's really good in the film too, and she ends up being the con artist that conned them the whole time.
I really liked her in Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yes, she was the wife. She was his wife, and Mr. Opus is Mr. Opus's wife.
Mr. Opus, right?
Mr. Holland's wife. On a believability scale.
Only in a movie universe.
Yeah. As much as I love this film, I kind of feel it's a movie universe film. Especially the triple cross at the end.
Yeah.
That being said,
all for Steve Martin's character being the way he was.
Yeah. I
can walk.
Yeah, when he starts walking at the end. I
love the fact that he's sitting at the table. He's got a cork on the end of his fork.
Yeah, and he's wearing the eye patch.
And he's wearing an eye patch.
Freddie. If you've never seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, we the three of us highly recommend.
Highly recommend it.
And at a 96% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics kind of want you to see it too. Also at a 96% and definitely worthy of the 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Another film from 1988, A Fish Called Wanda, starring. I love this movie.
Basically, Monty Python does another movie without saying Monty Python did a movie.
It's pretty much a Monty Python film because it's directed by John Cleese, written by John Cleese, and starring John Cleese. And it also stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Palin, who is from Monty Python, Kevin Kline, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor that year for his role as Otto. John Cleese's wife Cynthia is in the film. It's a fun movie. In London, 4 very different people team up on a jewel heist, then try to double cross one another for the loot, complicated by their efforts to fool the very proper barrister Archibald Leach. I think was it Jamie Lee Curtis is with Kevin Kline's character in the film, but she's pretending to be with Michael Palin's character, but then falls in love with the barrister that they're trying to con and ends up with him at the end. Kevin Kline eats a fish called Wanda. I remember as a kid when this movie came out, I was very, very confused as to what it was about.
It was bizarre.
Well, because of the poster. If you look at the movie poster on IMDb, it's
there's
John Cleese,
the large fish.
Yeah, it's John Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline, and Michael Palin in a police lineup with a giant fish. And I was like, "Wow, what's this movie?" Like I thought it had something to do with the fish. Yeah. And I was 11 years old when this movie came out. I had no idea what was going on. But then, watching it years later, I was like, "This film is genius. This is really it's kind of like an extended Monty Python sketch."
Yeah.
That being said,
only in the movie universe.
This only happens in the movie universe. Next one on the list is one of the older ones we have on here from 1962, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. One of my favorite musicals of all time, The Music Man, starring Robert Preston as a con artist who comes to town, pretends to be a music professor, gets people to give him money for instruments and band uniforms and music lessons. And then once he has gathered all of the money, he leaves town and does this from city to city to city until he gets to this one little town in Iowa where he falls in love with the librarian in the town and ultimately ends up staying and confessing to his crimes and somehow miraculously actually putting together a band in the end of the film. It's an amazing performance from Robert Preston, who is so charming and so charismatic. You can't help but be like, I would definitely fall for this guy's con.
Well, the con itself at the time frame it's in would theoretically work, but the rest of the movie is only in a movie universe.
Well, I mean, it is a musical, so it definitely would only happen in a movie universe. But I mean, it's as plausible as the con itself is. The result of the con and some of the other things that happened in the film are definitely movie universe. That being said, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, as well as one of my favorite musicals. So if you've never seen The Music Man, see the 1962 version with Robert Preston, not the one with Matthew Broderick from the early 2000s.
This movie reminded me a bit of one which I was hoping to see on our list, and I didn't see it. That's okay. It's called Leap of Faith.
Steve Martin. Yeah.
That's the ultimate con where, I mean, it's not, he's coming as a music professor. He's coming as a religious, who am I thinking of right now?
Yeah, he's like a televangelist.
Right.
Yeah.
And preys on small towns that are looking for rain and miracles and everything else. And then once they get the money of the town, they pack up and leave,
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it thinking, "Oh, this looks funny," and then it really wasn't a comedy.
It wasn't a comedy. It was more of a drama, but it was, It
wasn't a bad movie. I haven't seen that one in a while though, so I'd have to rewatch that one.
Right.
Back to The Music Man. Music Man, that was definitely a only happens in the movie universe kind of movie.
Yeah.
As well as The Producers. The next one on the list. Now, there's 2 versions of this. There's the original 1968 version, which has a 91% Rotten Tomatoes critic score, and the 2005 musical remake, which has a 51% score on Rotten Tomatoes. I like both versions. I have honestly seen the music version more. I've watched the musical version a lot.
Which is the 2005, right?
Yeah, that's the one with Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane, and Uma Thurman. Yeah. The original one was Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel.
Yeah.
It's the epitome of meta. You know, we have a
it's very
movie.
meta.
We're going to make it into a Broadway show. We're not hoping that it flops, but it makes for a good Broadway show. Broadway show does incredibly successful.
Mm.
So they make it into a
Yeah.
In the movie flops.
So the plot of The Producers is Zero Mostel and Nathan Lane play Max Bialystock, a play producer, Broadway producer, who is down on his luck until he meets Leo Bloom, played by Gene Wilder and Matthew Broderick, respectively, who is an accountant. And they come up with a scheme to put on the worst play possible, raise as much money as they can for it, and put on the worst play so that when it closes on opening night, they can keep all the money and run. The play they choose is called Springtime for Hitler. And now it's springtime for Hitler in Germany. And I love both movies. It's a very original plot. Mel Brooks' only Oscar in his career is for writing the original producers. Definitely a movie universe.
Definitely.
I don't see how that could happen in real life.
Yeah, there's no way.
You still have to like pay back investors and pay your actors and rent the studio and all that stuff. Like they kind of glance over a lot of that shit. That being said, Producers is fun. Go watch it.
Yes.
Next one on the list is Trading Places, 1983, with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Taking place in Philadelphia.
Taking place in Philadelphia is a stock market con movie. Anybody want to take this one?
It's
As
been
an
long
example.
since I've seen it, so I can't even remember.
It's let's see. Dan Aykroyd is a prestigious, pompous trust fund shithead who runs with the big boys, who I can only equate to Waldorf,
Waldorf
and
Statler. Yeah.
Statler, who are actually played by. Go ahead, because I forget their names right now.
So Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, Ralph Bellamy and Don Amici.
Don Amici
play
and
the
Ralph
two
Bellamy, that's it.
two rich guys, the two brothers, Randolph and Mortimer Duke.
We make a bet, a gentleman's bet of $1.
So they make a gentleman's bet that the two men played by Aykroyd and Murphy can switch places and see who does better. Like Dan Aykroyd has to live on the streets, Eddie Murphy works on Wall Street, and it's like they reverse their thing. And then the con kind of comes down to them working together then at the end to overtake the company owned by the Duke brothers, who end up
them being Aykroyd
and Murphy.
Murphy, yeah.
This is a funny movie. It's an early film for Jamie Lee Curtis, amazing nude scene, and definitely a movie universe film.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
They do revisit the Duke brothers very briefly in Coming to America. There's a scene where he hands the money to the two bums on the street, and Don he goes, "We're back." But yeah, Trading Places is a good film. Again, I haven't seen this movie in a while either. It's one I gotta rewatch. The next one is a Mike one. I know Mike likes this film.
Oh, I love this film.
I like
Maverick from 1994.
Oh yeah,
Go for it.
It's Maverick, loosely based off the television series back in the 60s, I think it was, 50s maybe, where he's a gambler, and the con basically is to win the money. The con is basically her.
Jodie Foster's character.
She's basically conning everybody in the movie to get the money. There's a lot of fun gags in it. A lot of
some fun cameos.
Yeah. Even James Garner, who originally played Maverick, now is the father of what's his name?
Mel Gibson's character.
Mel Gibson's character, Maverick. Yeah. I always enjoy this movie. I mean, Doc Ock is pretty good in it.
Alfred Molina, yeah.
He's a bad guy.
I like Maverick too. It's a fun movie. It's got a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like it's a little low.
Yeah, I think it's low.
I honestly think
It's theoretically possible. Yeah.
with a little bit of luck.
Yeah, with a little bit of luck.
This is definitely a
Well,
could
it's a game
happen
of
with luck.
there's a lot of luck in it.
Yeah, it's definitely a theoretical with a little bit of luck kind of movie, especially like at the time period it takes place, and I feel
Yeah.
like a con like that's probably easier to pull off.
Mhm.
Next one, Digstown from 1992. I love this movie. I talked about it on Movies That Time Forgot. It stars James Woods, Louis Gossett Jr., uh, Kevin's favorite actress Heather Graham, and Bruce Dern. This is like such a only can happen in a movie universe movie. Like this is the definition of only can happen in a movie universe.
Mm-hmm.
James Caan plays a con man who gets out of prison and he ends up in this little town called Digstown. And he and Oliver Platt, who plays his partner, pull off this con where they make a bet that they know a boxer who can take out 12 men in 24 hours in the boxing ring. And if he wins, they win, the money of the richest guy in town, played by Bruce Dern and all that. Louis Gossett Jr. plays the boxer who originally is not in on the con, but then decides he's going to be on the con. And then they have to fight these 12 guys in 24 hours. And there's all these like weird twists and turns and impossible moments. And, it's funny, but it's also got a lot of good boxing action in it. It's totally implausible.
Yeah.
Totally only in a movie universe would this ever work. It's awesome. It's still a really fun watch. One that I rewatched recently. And as much as you hate Heather Graham, Kevin, this is one of the hottest she's ever looked in a movie. Is in this movie.
And that's why she's in movies.
So
Most actresses are in the movie,
Notice she hasn't been in many movies once she, got out of her 20s and 30s. And I hate.
So Kevin's perfect movie would be Nicolas Cage and Heather Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that most actresses are hot, and most actresses, start losing work after they reach a certain age because that's how Hollywood works.
But look, was she ever nominated for an Academy Award or a Golden Globe?
Yes.
No, there's a reason for it. She can't deliver a line to save her life. She's pure eye candy. That's it. And I'm not trying to sound misogynistic. I'm not trying to sound, there's a reason why I don't like her as an actress, and that's it.
To anybody listening out there, I would like to point out that the theory that Mike and I have is that Heather Graham was supposed to go to the prom with Kev and stood him up on prom night.
Or someone who looks very close to.
Oh,
He wrote her a fan letter. She told him to fuck off, and that was the end. So this is definitely a movie universe movie.
He hates her more than he hates
Nicolas Cage. I know.
Nicolas
Like,
yeah.
that's
Well,
the kind of hatred I talk
here's the
about the
thing.
Dallas Cowboys with.
Here's the thing: Nicolas Cage can do certain movies, and I can appreciate his performance, and I'm okay with the movie. Okay, for the most part, I'm not just a fan of his, but she has never done anything. She has never performed any form of quality work ever.
He sounds like me when I'm
not a
talking
fan of
about
Roller Girl and Boogie Nights.
What was that?
You're not a fan of hers, Roller Girl and Boogie Nights?
She's doing the job that
Hey,
that's
she
what
was
she
in
was hired for.
If she was in a silent movie, would it be fine?
No, because she couldn't deliver a line. Oh well, maybe if she couldn't deliver a line, silent movie. Mike, you pose a good question. If we could go back in time and hire her for The Artist and see how well she did in that movie.
All evidence is really starting to point towards prom night stand-up. That takes us to the lowest ranked movie on this list. I tried not to, with most movies that I have on here, I try not to go below a movie that was lower than 60% on Rotten Tomatoes for the most part. But I had to go with this one only because it's 1990s era Jennifer Love Hewitt. And that is Heartbreakers with Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sigourney Weaver, Ray Liotta, and Gene Hackman. Has a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes because it is not a good movie.
Oh,
It was fun. It was fun. It wasn't good. It was fun.
It wasn't good. It had a very predictable ending. I mean, there wasn't really much twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was more or less just watching Jennifer Love Hewitt for 2 hours. I'm not even going to rank that one. I just had to put it on there.
Oh, okay.
Crime thrillers. Let's go to the crime. Let's try to get through these now. The Usual Suspects under crime and thrillers, 1995, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Can't believe The Usual Suspects has a lower Rotten Tomatoes score than Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Mm.
This is a movie about 5 criminals coming together to pull off a heist, stealing money off of a drug ship, only to find out that they were being set up by a crime lord named Kaiser Soze, who was trying to get revenge on them for 5 crimes that they each committed against them earlier in their criminal careers.
Yeah.
Love this movie. Great acting. One of
Mhm.
the best reveals in the history of cinema.
Oh, yeah, by far.
By
Yeah.
far. A movie I
Yeah.
wish I can go back and watch again for the first time, just so I can have that same feeling of the reveal when I watch it.
It gives you that 7 what's in the box kind of feeling
Yeah.
when you see
Yeah.
it, you know?
Very, very like, whew, holy shit kind of moment.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is movie universe.
Oh, by far.
This
Yeah.
is nothing but movie universe. Just the level of complexity and the mythos that goes into it and the twists and turns and all that. I love The Usual Suspects, but this is only in a movie universe.
Yeah.
Next one, 2006 movie is called Inside Man. This
Denzel?
movie stars. What's that?
Was this Denzel?
This is Denzel Washington. It's directed by Spike Lee. Also stars Clive Owen. It's one of Denzel. It's one of like Spike Lee's more different films that he's directed, because it's not
Mhm.
about like urban life or race relations or anything like that. Like, this is a straight up crime thriller
Mm.
about a police detective, a bank robber, and a high powered broker who end up in high stakes negotiations after the criminal's brilliant heist spirals into a hostage situation. So Clive Owen is the criminal. He's trying to rob this bank. It turns into a hostage situation. The cops in the film are played by Jodie Foster and Denzel Washington and Willem Dafoe as the like trio of cops trying to like stop this whole thing from happening. It turns out at the end of the film that Clive Owen's crew was not trying to steal the money, but trying to expose the fact that the bank owner was hiding Nazi-era jewels in the bank. And he ends up like kind of getting away with it at the end. Like, Denzel Washington lets him go because he believes that it was a victimless crime. I don't know how to rank this one.
Honestly, I think I'm realizing now this isn't Pelham 1.
Oh, Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is what
different film. That's also Denzel, but that's a remake of a movie from the 70s.
Is that a
as
con
well.
movie though?
No, that one's more of a hostage on a train kind of movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of between movie universe and maybe a little bit of luck. I don't think we've had many that we considered possible yet.
Which one? We did have.
I think it was. I think the only one we gave it to was the Grifters so far.
Yeah.
The next few on this list are definitely not going to get the plausible in real life award.
Oh, you mean 15, 11, 13, 12, and 8?
Yeah, I mean, Ocean's 11, The Thomas Crown Affair, Ocean's 13, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 8, and Now You See Me. None of these are getting the real world.
No. Well, the Ocean series, it's more because the more people you have involved with the con, the more likely somebody's going to fuck it up.
Yeah,
Yep.
or crack. Or whatever.
Yeah, look at what happened in Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Now, like, if you see, like, Ocean's 11 is a remake of a movie from 1960 with Frank Sinatra.
Right.
That movie is a drama. It's very slow paced. One of the crew members actually gets killed in the film. They don't get away with it at the end. They all get arrested. It's depressing. Ocean's 11 from 2001 with George Clooney and Brad Pitt is fun.
It's fun. It's a good
fun
movie.
movie. I love
But-
Ocean's 11.
But none of those ocean movies are.
Oh no, they are
No.
not. One of them is real world plausible. Not one of them is with a little bit of luck. They are all movie magic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Every one of those films is movie magic.
the amount of people they have working on a con, somebody's gonna fuck up.
Yeah, and but they're fun to watch, and that's the point behind watching them. Same thing with the Thomas Crown Affair, which stars Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo. Pierce Brosnan plays this billionaire who likes to steal art because it gives him a thrill.
Mhm.
It's a great movie, one of the best heist scenes in film history when they steal this like one piece of art at the end of the film.
It's the guy with the bowler hat and the
The bowler hat with the
apple.
apple in the front of
Yeah.
the face. Like he steals that at the end, but it's such a cool scene.
Mhm.
And Rene Russo is like the one investigating him, but they fall in love, and she looks incredible in the film.
Mhm.
And I hate saying that because she was in her 40s at the time, so I hate always saying like, "Oh, the actress looks great in her 40s." I mean, like I'm in my 40s, I look like a bag of shit. So, but that like none of those Ocean's 11, Thomas Crown Affair, 13, 12, or Ocean's 8 are real world plausible at all.
Right.
No.
Every one of them is movie magic.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into all of them because they're all basically the same plot. And then there's Now You See Me. You guys know what I feel about this film.
You know, up until the ending, I think most of it was plausible. Until the ending.
As plausible as magic can be, like magician shit.
Yeah. But the con, you could pull that kind of a con with magicians, I would think. But up until the reveal about who's in charge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's plausible with a little bit of luck
Yes.
throughout most of the film.
Until the end.
But that twist ending just makes zero sense.
Yes.
And then Mark Ruffalo never returns in the other movies, so like it makes even less sense at that point. Guys, if you've never seen Now You See Me, if you want to watch it, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
The movie was good up until the twist ending.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was enjoyable. It was fun.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
it was
I like
fun.
the magic stuff is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I
stuff.
like the actors in it too. I mean,
Yeah.
Sure. No, Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg and
Isla
Isla
Fisher.
Isla
Yeah.
Fisher,
Kane,
Yeah.
James
Ryan-
Franco.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
It's a
Freeman.
really good cast.
it's a great cast.
But yeah, it's
Honestly, I
definitely-
thought that might have been a Christopher Nolan production just based off of initially who was in the
Mhm.
cast, and was surprised it wasn't.
Anyway, the next one is in the action category. This is the only movie on the list I rewatched. Actually, no, I'm lying. It's one of two films that I rewatched prior to this episode. Sneakers.
At times.
I watched Sneakers. Well, I watched Sneakers literally an hour before we recorded. I finished watching it. I was eating dinner and watching.
Oh,
Sneakers.
I love
You wanted
Snake.
to make sure you got Ben
Ben
Kingsley.
Kingsley,
Ben Kingsley's New York
Boston
accent.
accent.
down.
Yeah, it was a Boston accent.
Boston.
Naughty.
Naughty.
Marty.
I can't kill my friend. Kill my friend. I love Sneakers. It's such a good movie. It's a total. I think you did this on Films of Time Forgot at one point.
Yeah.
1992. I was surprised it had a 96% critic score. I really thought that was
Yeah.
high.
Mhm.
I mean, I agree. I love the film.
Yeah,
but
I love them.
yeah.
There's no way. I want to say that part of it could be, but no.
This is, how it's movie
How
logic.
far the CIA gets involved, and
The CIA, the
Bonds.
NSA, the Russian government, guys who rob banks.
Whistler.
I think it could be redone today
Mhm.
and justified because black boxes that decode
Oh, yeah.
military things and a group of people who all have their special areas.
It'd be a little more high.
The tech would be a little bit different. The thermal
Mhm.
detection and stuff like that.
The problem I would think with remaking it today because you couldn't get a cast like that today.
Yeah, I was thinking like might be fun to recast it, but I don't know who the hell I would put in those parts.
Because I mean, just the price tags alone. I mean,
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
it's not a Marvel movie where you can fucking put everybody and God in it.
Mhm.
Like just alone, like say you get like George Clooney to play the Robert Redford part because they're kind of like the
Right.
matchup nowadays.
Yeah.
George Clooney's like 20 million a film. You're already out like the rest of your cast. Like who you
Who
casting
you,
at that point?
would you get Ben Kingsley back?
Yeah, he would come back. He does everything. You want you to play the same character you played in the original film.
Would you get
Nah,
Dan
dude.
Aykroyd back?
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, he needs to work. And I love Sneakers though. It's definitely in a movie universe kind of film though.
Yeah.
Especially the part where Whistler, the blind guy, identifies the bridge based on the distance between the threads. I do like the cocktail party scene where they find the reservoir filled with
Fucking
swans.
geese. Yeah.
Geese, yeah. Next one on the list is Logan Lucky, which came out in 2017. This is a film that kind of went under the radar, but it has a really good cast, and it's a pretty fun film. It stars one of my favorite actors nowadays, Adam Driver, Channing Tatum, Daniel Craig in a very non-James Bond role, Katie Holmes in a very small role, and a few others. It's about these two brothers, the Logan brothers, who are trying to rob a NASCAR race. So the heist is all about stealing the money that is collected during the NASCAR competition from like the bank in the bottom of the stadium.
Okay.
It's a real quirky sort of crime movie with like weird, like dark comedy. Daniel Craig is amazing in it. He plays a convict who they recruit to help them with the heist because he's good at robbing. But he's like a fucking maniac. And it's directed by Steven Soderbergh, who did the Ocean's films. So it has a little bit of that feeling to it too. That being said, it's got a little bit of reality to it, but it's definitely a lot of luck in that film.
Okay.
So yeah, if you've never seen it, I highly recommend Logan Lucky. It's a very fun film. I'll let Kevin take the next one because I know he loves this movie.
Inception. Totally unplausible. No.
Yeah. Can totally happen in real life.
It totally happened in real life. You know, when you get people
Honestly, man, with a lot of the
and
shit I've been
jump
seeing
into each
online with
other's
like AI
dreams.
and shit, I wouldn't be surprised if people start start invading our dreams.
Christopher Nolan, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Elliot Page, Tom Hardy, who else? Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Mike O'Kane, Tony
Kane does a lot of con movies.
Tony Colliard,
Yeah, Marion Cotillard's in it. Yeah,
and Cotillard. Just it's thought stealing, it's thought implantation. So yeah, it's doable.
With a little bit of luck.
a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck.
The visuals in this film though are fucking
They're
fantastic.
great. They're
It's
great.
an amazing film to watch.
It's still a good movie to enjoy. Yeah.
I think Tom Hardy's a lot of fun in it. DiCaprio's good in it. Bless you, sir. One of
Thank
the
you.
last films for Pete Postlethwaite.
Mm-hmm.
A very unrecognizable Tom Berenger in the movie. As the business associate.
Swollen.
Yeah, it's I love Inception. Great movie. Definitely a movie magic movie.
But it really, I mean, if you watch it and just think about the concepts of dreams and then dreams and dreams and the duration of how much time takes place over the shortness in reality,
Yeah.
Like never recognizing you're in a dream and how it begins to fall apart the minute you recognize that you're in a dream.
Like that last scene where they're in like the 5th level of the dream and they have to time the kick,
The kick.
so that it like rides itself back up to reality. It's like such a tense scene, man. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really, really good film. But yeah, I don't think I could ever call that one plausible until it happens in real life, which seems like it's getting closer and closer to happening. So we're living in the Matrix as it is. Speaking of plausible, The Italian Job, 2003. This is actually a remake of a film from the 70s. The 70s film is kind of boring. The 2003 film is not a great movie, but it is fun to watch. It stars
Hey, Edward Norton, how's your mother?
yeah, it stars Ed Norton, Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Jason Statham before he was gravelly Jason Statham and normal Jason Statham.
Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland, very briefly at the beginning. Most Def and Seth Green round out the cast. And it's about a group of guys who pull off a job in Italy very early in their careers. They got double crossed by Ed Norton's character. And then the other characters put together a scheme to rob the money that he stole from them. And a lot of action and implausibility occurs.
And a lot of Mini Coopers.
A lot of Mini Coopers and a lot of, and show you how old the movie is, a lot of talk about Napster.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely an out of date film. The film didn't really hold up well, but I still enjoy watching it. But it's definitely a movie universe film. I'm seeing a pattern here.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna shock you here, Lee.
Yeah,
I think the last 3 movies on this whole list will be very plausible.
yeah, right. So that takes us to fantasy sci-fi. I think we could bang through these kind of quickly. The first one I have in there is The Princess Bride. There's not a lot of con in this film. Most of the conning is the Dread Pirate Robert stuff.
Yes.
And the stealing of Buttercup at the beginning by Vicini and Fezzik and all those guys. And a little bit of the Tublave at the end.
I have one word for you. It's inconceivable.
It's inconceivable.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Liar!
I set you up pretty good for that scene.
Yeah, of all the sound bites I have, I got 2 from Princess Bride.
Love the movie.
Definitely could happen in real life.
Yeah.
Pit of Despair. Yeah, that all could happen in real life. Yeah, Princess Bride, in case you have no idea what we're talking about, 1987.
It was just on Wonderful World of Disney either this past week or the week before. I forget which one. Yeah.
So, Princess Bride, as I'm reviewing the list here, is the highest rated film on Rotten Tomatoes on this entire list.
Yeah.
97%. Next one, this is the other film I just rewatched recently, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And as I was watching it, I texted Mike and I'm like, this has to go on the list. These whole movies about conning people and thievery and shit. I have a feeling none of the ones on the sci-fi fantasy list are going to be real world eligible.
I want to argue that fact.
Yeah, go ahead.
In a real world Dungeons and Dragons campaign, that's very feasible.
Which is playing a game about a fake world.
Yes, in the real world.
Yeah, it's in the real world because we sit around the table eating chicken wings and hoagies as we're playing the game.
Not that we're complaining about chicken wings or
complaining about chicken wings and hoagies. We're playing the game. But yeah, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, fun movie. I would really hope there's a sequel. I don't know if there will be. Because
I don't think it did well enough in the box office.
Yeah, I don't think it made enough money for the studio to want to make another one. So,
but it's by far the best Dungeons and Dragons movie that's ever been made.
There's only been 2, and the other one stars Marlon Wayans. What's the third one?
There's one that was straight to DVD.
I was going to say, well, there's also Monsters and Mazes or whatever, right, with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but that's a true life, based on a true story.
Yeah. Speaking of Chris Nolan, The Prestige 2006. Kev?
A great movie starring Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale and Mike Cocaine and Scarlett
Told you, Michael Caine
Johansson.
did every freaking good.
He's in a lot of like the Nolan films too.
Yeah. They have like a father-son relationship, I think. Great movie. It's fun. Totally unplausible. You know, it's magic.
Yes.
The whole thing with the interaction with Tesla and what was capable of being done. This is great for shocking moments, you
Mhm.
know.
Yes.
Especially the last half an hour of the movie is just phenomenal with reveal.
I would
The Prestige, actually.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say the twins con would be possible in the real world,
Mhm.
but the other one is definitely movie magic.
The Twins con, I think, is possible because of the setup, because it's a part of the Magic Act.
Yes.
Like if you didn't know he had a twin brother, you wouldn't realize that it was the twin doing a lot of the stuff on stage, and you were thinking it was actual magic.
Right.
The stuff with the clones.
That's where it jumped the shark.
Yeah, and nobody discovering this fucking basement full of Hugh Jackmans.
And hired the blind
No.
Chinaman to
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Fox and the X-Men, they found them. That's when they
They keep reusing them for different Wolverine movies. 2006 also saw The Illusionist with Ed Norton, which I saw once. And it was kind of like overshadowed by The Prestige.
Yeah.
The Prestige is probably the better of the two films, and very similar plots.
Yeah.
Again,
investigation
these are movies
of murder, and
yeah,
there's magic involved, and the reveal turns itself out at the end.
Because these are on the fantasy sci-fi list. I'm going to say these are all just movie magic. So
yeah.
And The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which is Heath Ledger's final film, is all about a man making a deal with the devil.
Mhm.
And so I don't think we even really have to talk about that one to know that that's a magic movie.
Well, people make the devil all the time.
Oh, it's also because Heath Ledger passed away during the filming of it, so his character is played by 4 other actors, I believe.
Oh, Jesus.
So there's like this element of like his face changing, almost like a Doctor Who scenario.
Yeah.
So,
They had Johnny Depp playing him. They had
Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and I don't remember who this other person was, but Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. Want to see me make this pencil disappear?
Well, his bicycle's in Alamo now.
Yeah, it's in the Alamo in the basement.
Yeah.
The last 3 films, Mike said, should all be real world plausible because they're all based on true stories. The first one is Catch Me If You Can.
Love that. God, that's such a good movie.
Great movie, Spielberg film, DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, in a really good role for Tom Hanks. Chris Walken in one of his more realistic, less creepy roles. Based on a true story, how true it is debatable because Frank Abagnale has said in interviews that he embellished a lot, which says something coming from the actual con man that the movie is about.
But he was a con man. He was
a con man. He did about it.
And when caught, he did work with the FBI afterwards.
I have to say though, a lot of luck.
Oh yeah.
Real world plausible because it happened and it's based on a true story, but man, was he a lucky motherfucker. American Hustle, which stars Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, and Jennifer Lawrence. This is also based on a true story. I saw this one in the theater, and I think that's the only time I saw it. I remember it being a pretty good movie, but I don't remember too much about it. Con man Irving Rosenfeld, played by Bale, along with his seductive partner, Sidney Prosser, played by Amy Adams, is forced to work for a wild FBI agent who pushes them into a world of Jersey power brokers and the mafia. And so the whole con is about trying to con this senator, played by Jeremy Renner in the film.
Mhm.
What I remember about the ending is everybody gets away with it except for Jeremy Renner, who was the setup. He actually gets like arrested. It's based on a true story. I have to rewatch that one. I haven't seen it in a while. And then the last one is The Wolf of Wall Street, Another movie where you have to wonder how much of it is true because the guy telling the story himself is kind of a con man, Jordan
Yeah.
Belfort, who conned a lot of people out of a lot of money with fake stocks and insider trading and short selling and all this other stuff. So
all were embellished just for the cinema. So
yeah. I mean, but that's a wild ride, that movie, man. It's a wild movie. So let's look at our yearbook awards here. Best disguise. I'm going to go with I'm going to have to go with Kevin Spacey as Kaiser Soze disguised as Verbal Kint, The Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
I think you can argue maybe The Prestige with Christian Bale's twin characters,
Yep.
or maybe Inception with the fact that they're all playing different characters within the dreams. But I for myself, I think I have to go with Kaiser Soze as the best disguise.
Yep.
Smoothest talker. I may have to go with.
I would have to go with Bradford in the Sting.
That's a good one. I was going to say Clooney in Ocean's 11.
Mm.
Don't short sell Pierce Brosnan in the Thomas Crown Affair, though. Like,
Yeah,
I fell in love with
yeah.
I fell in love with that son of a bitch in that movie.
Wouldn't you say the Music Man though?
Music Man's a good
Wasn't
one,
he
too.
the smoothest one?
Yeah, he's definitely a smooth talker. I don't know. I like mine. I like Mike's. I like that one. So most heartbreaking double cross. The whole ending of Catch Me If You or of Now You See Me.
Yeah, you see, that was a heartbreaking double cross.
So heartbreaking double cross. Jeez. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but I gotta watch it. But it sounds like a pretty heartbreaking double cross. Is the Matchstick Men one that Kevin talked about?
Yeah. No,
I
I'm
mean, that
thinking of
seems
that
pretty-
now.
Pretty
The-
brutal to fake,
yeah.
the daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, but is that even worse than the mother killing her own son?
Yeah, the grifters is pretty bad too. I would also say the death of all the Hugh Jackman clones in Prestige is pretty fucking depressing. Best twist you never saw coming or you should have seen coming. Ooh, man.
I should have seen coming. Oh.
Geez. Best twist you should have seen coming.
I'm gonna go with the Prestige.
I could say the Prestige and The Usual Suspects, probably.
I'd say Sneakers, seeing that it was his best friend.
Yeah.
Beginning.
I was also thinking
you saw it coming because of the beginning.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels when you find out that the woman was the real con. Glenn Headley's character. And Cleanest Getaway.
Well,
I wanted to say Oceans, but George Clooney does get arrested at the end.
It would have to be Sneakers because they get get out of jail free pass and twins.
Yeah.
And
it's a date with the FBI agent.
Yeah, they get like everything.
Yeah, Winnebago, all that stuff. Well, you also say again, you can say Kaiser Soze in The Usual Suspects.
He got clean. He got away
He
clean.
disappears at the end.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, geez, I already forgot what I was going to say, but I think all of those are good choices. So, Mike, you have any beer history or trivia for us this evening, sir?
I do. Barley, the backbone of beer. Barley is the most commonly used grain in beer production, valued for its ideal balance of starch and enzymes. During the malting process, barley grains are germinated and then dried, which activates enzymes that convert starches into fermentable sugars, critical for alcohol production during fermentation. The two main types of barley used in brewing are 2-row and 6-row. 2-row barley has a higher starch content and lower protein, making it well suited for lagers and lighter beers. In contrast, 6-row barley has more protein and enzymatic strength, often making it the preferred choice for ales, stouts, and adjunct heavy brews. The degree of malt roasting is also affects the beer flavor and color. Pale malts produce light-colored beers with a clean malt character, while dark roasted malts add deeper color and complex notes like chocolate, coffee, or toast, hallmarks of styles like porters and stouts.
Okay. We have a cinema quote of the week.
It is easier to get an actor to be a cowboy than it is to get a cowboy to be an actor. John Ford.
Michael Bay paraphrased that by saying it's easier to get drillers to learn how to go to the moon than to get astronauts to learn how to drill.
I think the actual quote was, "Shut the fuck up, Matt."
Shut the fuck
Ben.
up. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, Ben. Let's revisit our drinks this evening. Kev, how was your mixed drink?
My con artist was very good. I'm glad I have the puree left over and the lemonade. And
Did it
like
have
I
a
said,
twist?
I'm not a big fan of vodka, but I may try another spirit in there.
Did it have a good twist ending?
It had a great twist ending.
Michael, I know you like your drinks.
Oh yes, I thoroughly enjoyed Freedom Brew Lemon Shanty.
Yes. I as well enjoyed the Freedom Brew Lemon Shandy, and I enjoyed the Cape May Brewing Crushing It Orange Indian Pale Ale. I feel pretty good right now, and I didn't even add any salt to my alcohol. So thanks again for joining us tonight for episode 204, Cons Who Are Pros. We hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Don't forget to email us at filmsfermentation@gmail.com. Visit linktree.com/filmsfermentation. Find all of our social media podcast links. You can find us on Patreon. You can find us on the PodNation Media Network on Roku, or you can text us at 904-867-4466. And make sure you join us next time around between the crossroads, between Pickled and Fermented, for episode 205, Childhood Trauma, the movie. We're going to talk about our favorite 80s films that traumatized us because we were all growing up in the 80s, and there were a lot of movies that were marketed to kids that probably shouldn't have been. In the meantime, I'm Leo.
Kevin.
I'm Mike.
This has been the Films and Fermentation podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.